Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. Today, we're going to get into a case that's both fascinating and disturbing. The story of Daniel Hittle, an American serial killer.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we've got excerpts from his Wikipedia page, and trust me, you'll want to stick with us on this one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
His case, it isn't just another true crime tale.
Right.
It raises some really profound questions about, how these seemingly ordinary beginnings can lead to just horrific acts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So get ready to dive deep with us as we kind of explore this dark side of human nature, huh?
You know, what's really interesting about this particular case is that Hittle's story really isn't unique.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are actually some chilling parallels with other serial killer cases, particularly when you start to look at their early lives.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning then.
Sure.
So Hittle was born in Indiana, adopted, and then moved to a farm in Minnesota.
Okay,
Pretty normal, right?
right. Sounds almost idyllic.
Yeah.
But underneath that surface, there were already some signs of trouble. He was described as quiet, even polite,
Uh-huh.
but with a dark side.
Okay.
He was prone to violence, especially when drinking.
Oh, wow.
And then there's the accounts of animal cruelty, which unfortunately is a common thread in a lot of these histories of many violent offenders.
Right. Yeah, and it wasn't just like casual cruelty.
No, absolutely not.
Hittle reportedly shot a neighbor's dog for barking.
Wow.
Yeah, and he even tied his own family's dog to a tree and shot it.
Oh my gosh.
He thought it was killing other farm animals, which is, disturbing on like multiple levels.
Exactly. I mean, these incidents really show just a blatant disregard for life and a complete lack of empathy,
Right.
which are, those classic warning signs.
Yeah.
Studies have shown a strong correlation between animal abuse and later violence towards humans.
Hmm.
So it's like a stepping stone, a desensitization to suffering.
Wow, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
In 1973, at just 23 years old, Hittle murdered his adoptive parents. The trigger, an argument with his stepmother about his truck.
Oh, wow.
He thought their dog had scratched it.
That's a shocking escalation.
Yeah.
I mean, he shot his stepmother during the argument.
Oh my gosh.
And then, when his adoptive father reached for his own gun, Hittle shot him too.
Wow.
So you see this impulsive rage coupled with like a cold-bloodedness.
Yeah, that's terrifying. So he's convicted of 2 counts of second-degree murder and sentenced to 30 years.
Right.
But here's the kicker. He only served 11 years.
Yeah, and this is where, we need to really dig into the complexities of the justice system.
Oh, okay.
A new law had passed in Minnesota that year, making Hittle eligible for parole much earlier than expected.
Wait, so a man who murdered both of his parents
Yeah.
gets out after a little over a decade?
Yeah, I know.
It seems
I-
lenient.
It does raise serious questions about the balance between rehabilitation and public safety. Was the parole board fully aware of the potential danger that Hittle posed?
Right.
Did they consider his history of violence and lack of remorse?
Right.
These are questions we need to be asking.
Yeah.
Especially considering what happened next.
Okay, so Hittle gets paroled and moves to Garland, Texas.
Right.
He was supposed to be under surveillance, but guess what?
What?
He falls right back into drug addiction. And that's where Mary Goss enters the picture.
Okay.
She was his drug dealer, and their relationship was, shall we say, tumultuous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were reports of arguments, escalating tensions.
Hmm.
Goss even had Hittle arrested at one point for slashing her tires.
Oh, wow.
So you can kind of see this pattern repeating itself, right?
Yeah.
The instability, the volatile relationships, the disregard for consequences.
Yeah. It's all there.
And this all kind of culminates in this horrific day.
Okay.
November 15th, 1989.
Hmm.
Hittle gets thrown out of a party, argues with his wife, grabs his shotgun,
Wow.
and heads straight for Goss's house. Oh my gosh.
But on his way there, he's pulled over for speeding by Officer Gerald Ray Walker.
Oh no.
Now imagine this. You're a police officer conducting a routine traffic stop,
Yeah.
completely unaware that the man you've pulled over is a convicted murderer on his way to commit more violence.
Oh wow.
That was Officer Walker's reality.
Mm.
And this seemingly ordinary traffic stop,
Mm-hmm.
turns into a tragedy.
Oh wow.
Hittle, he was afraid that Officer Walker would see his shotgun, and he just shoots him
Oh my God.
right in the chest and speeds off.
It's just a chilling reminder,
Yeah.
of the totally random nature of violence.
Yeah.
I mean, Officer Walker was just doing his job
Right.
and paid the ultimate price for it.
It's awful.
It really highlights the need for increased awareness and safety measures for law enforcement officers,
Right.
especially when they're dealing with routine traffic stops.
It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
what if Officer Walker had approached the car differently?
Right.
Or, if he had had backup immediately available?
Yeah. Could it have been prevented?
It's impossible to know for sure.
Right.
But it definitely raises questions about police training and protocols in these situations.
Yeah, for sure.
But tragically, the violence didn't end with Officer Walker.
Right. This is where the story takes an even darker turn.
Yeah.
And frankly, it's hard to even talk about.
I can imagine.
Hittle bursts into Goss's house and just opens fire,
Oh, my God.
killing Mary Goss and two of her friends who were there, Richard Joseph Cook and Raymond Scott Gregg.
It was a cold-blooded execution.
Yeah.
Hittle is clearly on a rampage,
Right.
fueled by rage and possibly drugs.
Yeah.
But what happened next is perhaps the most disturbing aspect of this whole case.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
He reloaded his shotgun and shot Goss's 4-year-old daughter, Christy Condon, in the face.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, how do you even begin to process something like that?
It's the kind of act that, defies rational explanation.
Yeah.
To target a defenseless child like that. It speaks to a level of depravity that's just difficult to grasp.
I can't even imagine.
It's important to remember, though,
Yeah.
that this act, while monstrous,
Mm.
is not entirely unique.
Really?
Sadly, there have been other cases where children have been targeted by individuals like Hittle,
Wow.
often as a way to, inflict maximum pain and suffering on their intended victims.
Oh, that's just horrible.
Yeah.
So the police arrive.
Right.
An off-duty firefighter, thankfully,
Yes.
who saw the traffic stop, had already called for backup.
Thank goodness.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, that quick thinking probably saved lives.
Yeah.
There was a shootout.
Oh, gosh.
Hittle crashed his truck, and he eventually surrendered when he ran out of ammo.
Wow.
But amidst all that chaos,
Okay.
there was a glimmer of hope.
Mm.
Little Christy Condon was still alive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was rushed to the hospital.
You said a glimmer of hope. What happened to her?
Sadly, she died a few days later.
Oh, no.
Her family made the incredibly difficult decision to take her off life support
Oh, gosh.
and donate her organs.
Wow.
So even in this horrific tragedy,
Yeah.
there was this tiny spark of light,
Yeah.
a testament to human compassion and the enduring power of hope.
It's hard to imagine the pain and grief that family must have gone through.
I know, it's just unimaginable.
To find the strength to donate her organs, it's just
Yeah.
incredible.
It's amazing.
So Hittle is captured,
Right.
charged with capital murder and 3 counts of attempted murder for the shootout with the police.
Mhm.
And during the trial, his behavior was,
Yeah.
well, disturbing.
What was he doing?
He was described as nonchalant, almost bragging about his crimes.
Oh, my gosh.
This lack of remorse,
Yeah.
It's a chilling reminder of the psychological complexities we're dealing with here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about punishment.
Right.
It's about trying to understand the darkness that can reside within the human psyche.
So in August 1990, he was found guilty and sentenced to death.
Right.
He appealed, of course.
Of course.
But the sentence was upheld all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, the Supreme Court declined to hear his case.
Right.
And his execution date was set for December 6, 2000.
Wow.
On that day, at the Huntsville unit in Texas, Daniel Hittle was executed by lethal injection.
Hmm.
His last words were, Sant Ajayb Singh. That's it. A reference to an Indian guru.
Yeah.
It's a strange final statement
Yeah.
from a man who committed such horrific acts.
I know.
Almost like he was seeking some sort of spiritual solace or absolution. But what struck me was that Officer Walker's widow attended Hittle's execution.
She did.
Yeah.
And she even released a statement thanking the state of Texas for carrying out the sentence.
Wow.
It's a powerful reminder of the lasting impact of Hittle's crimes,
Yeah.
on the victims and their families.
The pain they endured.
I know.
It's unimaginable.
Unimaginable. But to find the strength to witness the execution of the man who took their loved one,
Yeah.
it's just
It's remarkable.
remarkable.
It speaks to the really complex emotions surrounding cases like this.
Yeah.
The need for justice, the desire for closure,
Right.
the struggle to reconcile, the enormity of the loss with the need to move forward.
So a lot.
It's a journey that continues long after the headlines fade.
It's just, as we've gone through all this with Daniel Hittle,
Yeah.
What's really striking to me are all the missed opportunities.
What do you mean?
Well, all the signs were there
Yeah.
right early on.
Right.
The violence,
Mm.
the animal cruelty, the rage.
It's true.
It's like, everyone around him was witnessing a ticking time bomb,
Yeah.
but no one knew how to defuse it.
That's a really powerful analogy.
Yeah.
And it raises the question, could anything have been done,
Right.
to intervene before it escalated to murder?
Exactly. What if someone had taken those early warning signs more seriously? Right.
What if there had been better resources for mental health and anger management?
I mean, it's impossible to say for sure,
Yeah.
but it really highlights the need for a more proactive approach to mental health in our society.
Yeah.
I think we tend to focus so much on reacting to crises instead of,
Preventing them.
preventing them.
And then there's the whole parole issue.
Oh, right.
I mean, releasing a convicted double murderer after only 11 years.
Yeah.
It just seems like a colossal failure of the justice system.
It certainly raises questions about the parole board's, decision-making process.
Yeah.
Did they adequately assess the risk Hittle's opposed to society?
Right.
Did they consider his history of violence and lack of remorse?
I mean, if he hadn't been paroled,
Yeah.
Officer Walker, Mary Goss, those other folks,
Right.
and that poor little girl, Christy Condon, they would still be alive.
It's a sobering thought,
It is.
and it really forces us to confront the difficult balance between rehabilitation and public safety.
Yeah.
We want to believe in second chances. Right.
But, we also had a responsibility to protect innocent lives.
This entire deep dive has been, incredibly insightful,
Yeah.
but it's also left me feeling, honestly, profoundly disturbed.
Yeah, I understand.
It makes you wonder, how many other Daniel Hittles are out there,
Right.
just slipping through the cracks of the system?
It's a chilling thought.
It is.
And it really underscores the need for,
Yeah.
greater awareness, better resources, and more effective interventions.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
amidst all the darkness,
Okay.
there are also, I think, glimmers of hope.
What do you mean?
Well, think about the off-duty firefighter
Yeah.
who witnessed the traffic stop and immediately called for backup.
Right. Thank goodness.
His quick thinking likely saved lives.
Yeah.
And then there's Christy Condon's family
Right.
donating her organs
Yeah.
in the midst of, just unimaginable grief.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
it's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit.
It's true. Even in the face of such tragedy, we see these acts of courage and compassion.
Absolutely. So while we can't undo the past,
Right.
we can learn from it.
Yeah.
We can advocate for better mental health services, demand greater accountability from our justice system,
Yeah.
and support those affected by violence.
Yeah. And maybe, just maybe, we can prevent another tragedy like this from happening.
Well said.
So.
And on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into the life and crimes of Daniel Hittle.
Yeah,
It's been a difficult journey,
it really has.
but hopefully you leave with, a deeper understanding of the complexities of this case
Right.
and the broader issues it raises.
We hope this deep dive has left you with some things to think about.
Yeah.
What are the red flags we should be looking for in our own communities?
Right.
How can we advocate for better mental health services?
Yeah.
And what can we do to ensure that our justice system is both just and effective in protecting the innocent?
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Keep learning, keep questioning, and keep striving for a better world.